This was about a month ago. We had a fire going on and stuff, and I had nodded out off my drugs, and I had felt somebody come up and hit me with something, and I thought I was dreaming or something, and I put my hand on the back of my neck, and I thought it was raining, but it was blood, and I found out that I got stabbed 4 times.
So this happened while you were sleeping?
Correct.
Oh, wow. And as a result,
I have a hole in my neck here, a scar in the back of my neck down below my hairline. I got the scar on my arm here.
wow, that's all from...
Yeah, and also this here.
Woo! So that's from the stabbing.
Correct.
Man.
And it was all by a person that I've never even met before.
Okay, who am I speaking to today?
My name is Louie Mack.
Okay, Louie. What's your current situation?
Currently, I've been residing in the streets of Kensington, North Philadelphia for about the past 6 months. Currently hooked on fentanyl and shank and cocaine. And just struggling, bro. Struggling. Trying to stay alive every day.
Okay, so you said 6 months. Where you been staying during this time?
Honestly, it depends on what it's like outside that night. I mean, depending on the violence, the police hassle, I move from street to street. You know what I mean? It changes every day.
Okay, so you said it's been 6 months this time, and you've been on the street before.
Yes, for about 5 years. And I had to go to jail for a few months, and then basically the day I got out, I started all over again.
Okay, so take me back to the first 5 years. How did it initially happen?
Well, I've been hooked on opiates ever since I was younger. I've always had a problem with drugs since a teenager. And basically, you know, Philadelphia is known for the drugs. They got good drugs. And unfortunately, people, you know, end up relocating just to be close to the good drugs. And I ended up being one of those people, you know. And, you know, the stuff is so strong nowadays, it's, you know, it grips you by your whole life, and you can't control it, you know?
Okay, so what was the reason for you leaving wherever you were staying at?
Basically, it was just more convenient to be down here because I didn't have to travel to get my drugs, you know?
Okay, well, who were you staying with?
I started off staying with a friend on North Water Street.
No, I mean before being on the streets.
I was with my grandmother and my father.
Okay, and you basically left home,
right,
to go be in the streets.
It started off, you know, leaving every day, copping, coming back home, and eventually, you know, it just became a hassle. And you know, like a lot of other people, you know, I came down here one day and I got stuck and I just never went home.
Okay. And that place you're talking about is Kensington, Philadelphia, right?
Correct.
And so you spent 5 years on the streets of Kensington.
On and off, yeah.
On and off, doing your thing, and then you ended up in jail.
Yeah.
Okay. And how long were you in prison?
I was only there for about 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
The reason I lasted so long on the street, though, for the 5 years was because I originally maxed out my sentence. I basically told the judge just to give me all my time, just so I could get high when I got released, and I didn't have to report to anybody and worry about it anymore. That's how important drugs became to me. I mean, it's insanity, but that's what we do.
So you were clean in jail, right?
Correct.
For 4 months?
Correct.
So that didn't help in, you know, the process?
To be honest with you, the only thing it helped with was my budget that I spent on drugs. And that's all I looked forward to from the time I went in to the day I got out was I only got to spend $10 now.
So you didn't plan on being clean. You was waiting to get high again.
Right.
Okay. And what do you feel can solve this issue?
Honestly, right now I feel like the professional centers and the rehabilitation centers are letting us as addicts down because they literally do not know how to handle this issue with the drugs, specifically here in Philadelphia. We're known for our strong dope, our fentanyl and our trank. It's the strongest in the country, and it's taking people down one by one, and it's scary. And it's so strong that people literally cannot physically and psychologically go through it on their own, and they're losing their limbs, and they don't care. They still
I saw
go down
that.
the street,
Speaking of that, you had a situation. Well, it's not really a trank hole, but you had a situation. Tell me about that.
I was actually residing on a back street that a couple people were staying at the time, and this was about a month ago. We had a fire going on and stuff, and I had nodded out off my drugs, and I had felt somebody come up and hit me with something, and I thought I was dreaming or something, and I put my hand on the back of my neck, and I thought it was raining, but it was blood, and I found out that I got stabbed 4 times.
So this happened while you were sleeping?
Correct.
Oh, wow. And as a result,
I have a hole in my neck here, a scar in the back of my neck down below my hairline. I got this scar on my arm here.
wow, that's all from...
Yeah, and also this here.
Woo! So that's from the stabbing.
Correct.
Man.
And it was all by a person that I've never even met before.
So how long you been dealing with the Fetty?
The Fetty, basically, when I maxed out and got released from prison in 2019, February, the Fetty was just hitting the scene in the streets of Philadelphia as pure fentanyl as I was getting out of prison. And basically it was like a recipe for disaster because, I was coming back to the streets, trying to get regular dope, and it's pure fentanyl now. And it's like, whoa, like this is a completely different ball game. You know what I mean? Back when you do 2-3 bags, now you do a sprinkle and you go out, And then it got to the point where people's tolerance were getting so big to where the fentanyl wasn't enough and the dealers were hooking it with trank. It's called xylazine. It's an elephant tranquilizer, bush tranquilizer. And I mean, that just totally turned the whole game around. The dope game will never be the same again, ever.
I see. And it's seemingly almost impossible for people to kick that. I mean, even with tearing their body up, it's like, it has such a hold on people. It's a new form of recovery.
Correct.
That we have to get used to. What's your daily habit, like cost?
Right now I consider myself lucky. Before I went in the hospital 2 weeks ago, it was about $30-$40 a day. Now it can be anywhere from $10 to $40 a day. But right now, the dope is more important to me than the cocaine. Cocaine is more just for fun. You know what I mean? But right now I'm just trying to, stay functioning, and with that I just need the dope, the fentanyl.
All right. Now, seriously, how do you plan on turning this around? Or do you have plans on turning this around?
My first step is going back to the hospital and proving to myself and to the people that love me that I care about my life. Enough to take care of it and stay alive at least. That's my first step. Because before I didn't care at all. You know what I mean? And I mean, people probably look at me right now like the way I'm dressed, walking around like this guy's out of his mind. He don't care about his life. But they just don't know my story. You know what I mean? Okay, I had a bad day. I left the hospital and I got to go back. Big deal. I'm an addict. You know what I mean? So I got to try again. And that's all I can do, man, is just keep trying. I just can't give up.
Absolutely. And do you think that the Fetty is way harder to get over?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking, going into jail and telling the judge to give me a whole extra year just so I can get out and start using it again, when heroin was never like that. You know what I mean? Heroin you get over in a week. The withdrawal's done. This fentanyl and trank shit, it completely takes over your mind, your body, your soul. I mean, there's people literally out there selling their soul for $5 worth of this shit. I mean, shit is real right now. It really is. I mean, the crime rate is out of pocket. The theft, everything. It's all due to drug use. And I don't see any change soon.
Okay. How did you initially get on drugs?
When I was in high school, I sold marijuana and cocaine, and everybody in my family is a user. And basically, I just got bored one day, and I found out that my dad was an addict, and that basically he, was moving out of our household and doing his own thing because he'd rather keep doing drugs than get help and stay with us. And that's the first day that I ever tried opiates, because I was so curious, what's so good about him that my dad's willing to leave us, you know what I mean? And that's basically, how I got started on hard drugs.
Gotcha. So this whole time you've been out here, 5 years and then 6 months, have you ever tried going in a shelter?
Nah.
That was never a thought.
I'd rather keep myself separated from people because I find it easier like that. For some reason, with me personally, the more I involve myself with people around me, the more difficult my situation becomes. I don't know why. Maybe it's bad luck. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I got a problem. I don't know. But I'd rather just stay solo. It's just easier like that.
Gotcha.
Especially in the street, you can't trust anybody. If the cops came and said, I'm going to save your life today, I wouldn't trust them. I just don't.
Okay, Lou, how do you deal with being out here in the cold?
If I wasn't on drugs, there's no way I'd be out here. Period. It's as simple as that. I need drugs just to be able to walk to the store, because this cold is just crazy. All these normal people out here that don't have drug addictions, you see, it doesn't bother them that bad. But to me, it's like getting hit with a hammer every second. Us as addicts, our bodies are weak. And, we got a lower tolerance to pain, cold, all that. So it's 10 times harder for us. But we're so messed up mentally that we're blinded to it sometimes.
All right, so what's a regular day like for you out here?
It can be very boring, or it could be, packed full of a whole bunch of different crazy stuff. I mean, it really depends on how involved I feel like getting in my addiction that day, honestly. And it depends on, what I wake up with in my pocket, which usually every day I wake up with just enough to, wake up and continue my, my splurge. But honestly, us as addicts out here, it's hard. Everybody's chasing the same dollar. You know what I mean? And money for some people out here is easy to get. For addicts, it can be very hard to get, because everybody down the way, we call it in Kensington, everybody's after the same buck. You know what I mean? It's almost like they're in a line, taking turns, exchanging the same money, because that's exactly what's going on. So it's like, some days I can wake up and I might have to go, risk my neck literally all day long, just so I can keep functioning and keep feeding my addiction. Or some days it might come easy and I might get blessings. You know what I mean? It really all depends. I believe in karma. You know what I mean? So when I get a blessing, I try to pass it on when I can to the next person, especially those in need. And I believe that it comes back to me every time. So it really just depends on my situation every day.
Okay, and how do you go about getting money?
I probably got about 100 different hustles. I'm not going to speak specifically. I exchange goods, I trade things. I seek people that need things, and I try to, go get it for them, help them out, and, they break bread with me. Honestly, the thing I do most is I try to prey on people from the suburbs. A lot of white people, working people come from the suburbs, and they spend a lot of money down here in Kensington on drugs. And, I can pick them out like dogs. I mean, I can smell them walking by. You know what I mean? Those who are spending money, and I seek them out. I'm like, yo, like, blah, blah, blah. I'm such and such, I'm sick. Can you help me out? I'll take you to the best. Usually if I put in a good effort, I could probably get about 3-4 blessings a day from people. But I really don't like depending on other people for my shit. You know what I mean? So usually it's just easier to just go get it from the muscle. And people know what I mean.
Got you. So, are you a part of what they call Tent City down there?
I'm not.
Like, is that where you sleep and get rest? How do you get rest and
honestly, I get most of my rest on the L, where I usually go up to like Broad Street down in the subway.
For those that don't know, the L is the train that runs all through Philadelphia.
Right.
Right.
And nowadays, it's very dangerous at times to be on that train.
Absolutely.
For those who don't know.
Absolutely. A kid just got murdered over there.
Right.
A few days ago, about 4 or 5 days ago.
Right.
On the platform.
Yep.
So yeah, I understand. But yeah, so you're on the L. You're not off on the L, things like that. So you don't sleep when you're actually in Kensington?
Never. I have PTSD, especially since I got stabbed. Somebody tried to take my life 3 separate times since I've been living down here. And it messes with my mind. I can't sleep around people that are moving. I can't sleep around like busy activity. I can't sleep around blocks. Like even like when I get clean time, like when I'm in jail and stuff and I doze off in bed, all I hear is sirens and gunshots from being in Kensington. I mean, there's teenagers running around with Glocks with switches on them, you know what I mean? Automatic firearms, like it's crazy, bro. And this is the norm for us,
That is true. So what's your ultimate plan, man, to get through this? Like, do you have a plan? Have you thought about it? What is the end goal for you?
Honestly, the end goal for me is to be one of the ones out of hundreds of thousands and millions of people to say, I beat fentanyl and trank. I
made it out of Kensington.
Correct. And I made it out of Kensington. I think, that alone is enough motivation for me. And I'd like to prevent kids from getting stuck in this life. I really think I can make a difference if I get clean.
That'll be dope, man. To see you on the other side of this, helping other people. And I've connected with a lot of people, and for the most part, all the people that's been through this, whether it's addiction or just homelessness, they have a desire to, help people out that are in this situation because, they know what it's like. But the key thing you said was kids. So what advice would you give to any kid or anybody out there so they won't go through what you're going through and have been through?
Well, for the first thing, if anybody ever offers you drugs, I don't care if it's weed, if you feel 1% uncomfortable, like it's not for you, don't even think about it. Just be like, nah, I'm cool, just walk away. And not even just drug addiction. Look, if you're fucked up in your pocket and you're broke, right, and you got friends that run a block or something, okay, you live in a metro area, like yo, let me holler at you, bro, you want to work for me for a couple hours, you know what I mean? Trap for me? Bro, stay away from that. Because before you know it, you're not going to be able to make it out. And they're not going to let you out. I don't care who you are. Nobody's untouchable. I've seen so many kids get lost in this block life because they're blinded. And it's no joke, bro. It's no joke. That's all I got to say.
Okay. And you've gotten pretty accustomed to this street lifestyle over the years, right?
Correct.
What's the hardest part about it for you after all this time?
It's funny you said the hardest part. The hardest part for me is the fact that it's easy. It's easier than living a normal lifestyle. That's the hard part for me.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
I get it. Hopefully the viewers understand, but that's pretty deep, man. Because you get immune and you start just accepting, everything that comes with it, and it's your norm. It's your daily routine. This is what you do day in and day out. You're gonna get up, hustle, bustle, find a way, and do it all over again. So you know, hopefully, man, Lou, I would really like to see you get through this, but it starts with you ultimately. And, you know, the first step is getting clean. And, you know, hopefully you figure that part out and, you know, you can overcome it. But, before we go, just, anything that you would like to say to anybody out there, or anything you would like people to know about you?
I just want people to know that I'm nobody special. You know what I mean? I'm an addict just like everybody else stuck out here. And to be honest, you know, I got the same chance as everybody. And, you know, I think it's important, you know, that we as addicts try to stick together and try to, you know, motivate each other to get it out of this life, you know? Because in the end, we're all we got. You know? We're all we got. And if we give up, then, you know, it's over. It's just like, it's easy as that. It's over. We just got to find a reason to keep surviving every day. And to anybody that doesn't know about the addiction and the fentanyl and trank issue in Philadelphia, all I got to say is just stay away from it. And, you know, what you hear, they're not stories. This shit is real.
Absolutely. What do you think is needed to better your situation?
My situation personally, along with other addicts, we need more help from people higher up. You know, government officials, professional centers, budgets. We need doctors to take more risks. You know, experimenting with different medication to help us get it off this shit. Because right now it's like a bunch of scared cats that are scared to try new things to help save our life. And in the end, it's all about money. That's what it's all about. And it's sad because we're dying every single day. Hundreds of us in these streets are dying every day, all because of you know, paperwork and political bullshit. You know what I mean? You know, rehabs are doing the same shit they were doing 20 years ago. You know what I mean? The drugs are not the same, and they need to understand that. And until they do that and they start doing different things, nothing's going to change.
Got you. All right, Lou, man. Thanks for your time. Thanks for sharing your story. And I really hope that you know, find the strength to kick the addiction so, you know, you can really start life with Louie. You know what I'm saying? And show others that it's possible, and, you know, hopefully have an impact on other lives so that they won't go through what you went through.
I appreciate that.
Anything you want to say to anybody? Anything you want to say?
I just hope people get this message, you know what I mean? And I hope they see this clip. And don't just listen to my story, listen to other people's stories that you get a chance to listen to, you know what I mean? Because everybody has a different story. So,
absolutely.
That's all I got.
All right, Lou. Thank you, man.
Yep, thank you.